Hi everyone, for today's tutorial I'll be taking you in depth about foundation application and how you can make it look not too heavy or cakey. So the amazing skin prep that we did before is going to play a huge role in making your foundation look not too heavy. Because of all the skin prep, the foundation is going to soak right in and make it look more skin like. So do pay attention to the prepping part. Also, another important point is to pick the right foundation for you according to your skin type. If you're a very oily skin type, then you cannot get along with using a very dewy or shiny type of foundation. It's never going to work for you. Or if you're a very dry skin type, if you use a matte foundation, that's also going to look really heavy and not very skin like. Also, I can recommend you a few foundations that will work great for different skin type. My most favorite foundation till date is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. I am an oily skin type and this one is a more natural finish. Natural finish is in between very dewy and very matte. Like it gives a natural kind of glow and not too dewy or too matte. I really like this foundation and I also think this will work great on a lot of skin types. Also, if you're a dry skin type and you prefer a fuller coverage foundation, I really like the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation. This is very full coverage and it is also pretty dewy. It's a bit glowy. And for again dry skin type, the e.l.f. Flawless Satin Foundation is really good. Satin finish is in between like a natural finish and a dewy finish. Like it's going to give like a satin kind of glow, which is not too matte or not dewy, but more on a glowier side. If you are opting for a lesser coverage, then I also like this Maybelline Fit Me Fresh Tint. It's a lighter coverage and works really good and has SPF also in it. Again, for oily skin type, I really like this Loreal Infallible 24-hour matte cover foundation. This is a matte finish and also very full coverage. Also, to make it easier, sometimes you can use stick foundations. The Sugar Cosmetics stick foundations are really good. They come with a little brush at the end, so it's travel friendly as well. And this is also like a natural finish. But for today, I'm going to use my favorite, the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. I just used a pump of the foundation. I don't like using too much. Again, if you feel like you need more, you can layer more easily later, but I'm going to start with one pump and this usually works for my entire face. Try to decrease the amount of product that you use. It's going to make it look so much more effortless and going to avoid caking of product on top of each other, and that way the makeup is going to look very heavy. I'm going to warm up the product a little bit on the palette, just like mix it up with my finger and then apply. I feel like it applies a little bit better this way. So now that you know a little bit more about the different types of finish and different types of foundations available, you should also know your skin tone and your undertone, which is very crucial when you're shopping for foundations. And I always recommend buying a foundation offline, because online you don't know what shade you're gonna get. So always go to a store and then swatch it on your skin and then see if it matches you, rather than getting it online and then getting delivered a wrong shade. There are different types of skin tones. Majorly it's a fair skin tone, which is the lightest. Then comes the light skin tone. Then there's light medium, which is between light and medium. And there's medium. Then there's medium tan. And there's deep or dark skin type. So in the Makeup Forever foundation, I am in 3Y46, which is a medium tan with a golden undertone. So I am a golden undertone. And a good way to find out your perfect foundation match if you're a beginner is by going to any of the high-end makeup websites like Lancome or Makeup Forever, and then you can choose any of their foundation, and then you're gonna see it's gonna have an option of find my shade. When you click on any of the foundations, and then you can click on that and fill out the quiz that they do, and then it's going to give you a really nice idea of what type of skin you are, or what is your undertone or your skin tone. So that's a really easy way to find out your perfect skin tone, and then you can like go to any of the stores and then you can look for the foundation in that range that you filled out and that showed the result online. It is actually really tricky to find your exact foundation match, the undertone and the skin tone. Skin tone is definitely easier to figure out than undertone, and it did take me also a really long time to find the perfect match. The Maybelline foundations do have a better wide range of foundation shades rather than some other drugstore brands. So I really recommend the Maybelline Fit Me foundations or the Maybelline Fit Me skin tints. Maybelline is really a very good brand. Also, the tools that you use to apply your makeup really matters. I like using brushes for every step because it's a lot easier and a lot more reliable for me. I was using beauty blenders before, but sometimes the beauty blender could be a little bit too damp or a little bit too dry, and that way the foundation might not apply very good. The foundation might break or look really patchy. So you don't have to do any type of mathematics with the brushes, which you have to do with the beauty blenders. It might be too damp or too dry, so I like sticking with the brushes. I love the PAC brushes. This is the PAC 265. I do use a lot of PAC brushes for my base. I just took a tap of the foundation. Don't go in with too much. Again, I have to keep repeating that. And then blend. Make sure to make the foundation even all over the brush. And then go in. Always do tapping motions and never dragging motions. If you cause too much friction, then you're going to remove the foundation and then it's going to look very patchy and it's going to break. So always do tapping motions. For every step of your makeup, always do tapping motions. Also work in sections on your face. Like I did this part of this cheek first, and then I'm going to move on to this part. Don't pick up too much foundation and then tap a little bit of product on this side and then go in and blend this side. After you're done with blending this side, you're going to notice this little patch of product that you've put here will have completely dried and it's going to really mess up the base. So work in sections. Now that this part for me is done, I'm going to move on to this side and do the exact same step. Tap the product on my brush, make it even, and then tap and blend. Following the exact same steps. You can see how good this matches me, and I did get this foundation online. You just have, I feel like Makeup Forever has the easiest shade description, so it makes it really easy for you to get your shade match. I don't put too much, like I focus most of the product on my cheeks. I don't put too much on my nose or my mouth area or my forehead. These are the areas that can look really, if you put too much product on, it can look really heavy. And the forehead is where you make the most expressions and you crease a lot, so you're gonna have lines of foundation deposits on your head. So don't go in with too much, go in with barely any product on your forehead. Same for the nose. If you put too much on, it's going to look really heavy. And same for the mouth as well. You crease a lot here, so the foundation is going to deposit and look really heavy. Also try to go very precisely because my brows are already done. Like I said, I like doing my brows first. Make sure you've put foundation on every corner of your face. Pay attention to that, because if you, like I have seen a lot of people just like paying attention to the cheek part or the forehead part, and then there are patches of places on your face where there's no foundation and then there's foundation on the other part, so it looks really patchy and not blended. So make sure to blend really well and put foundation on every part, like these little areas. You sometimes avoid those sections and it looks very patchy, and you're going to see the line and clearly that you have foundation on. I mean, this way also it's going to look like you have foundation on, but make it look blended and flawless. With a tiny amount of product that's on the brush, I'm going to drag a little bit around here, not completely down my neck. I don't need to. Like, you do that step if your foundation is not the perfect match for you, to make it look even, but this foundation shade is my perfect match, so I don't have to drag it down all the way, and I don't like doing that step because it gets really difficult for me to remove it later. So I just drag it till here, like till my jawline, and leave it there, just to make it look a lot more blended in, so that there's again no line of foundation on your face and then no like your normal skin. So you gotta pay attention to the blending part, you gotta take your time blending. So the foundation now is complete. I just needed one pump of product, and that also I did not use the complete off. So it has, this part is like dried down, and don't try to use the dried part later. It's gonna look really heavy and not gonna blend in. So this is the most flawless foundation application. I hope you guys learned a little bit more about your skin, or the perfect, or how to pick your perfect foundation match.